Welcome to Raging Moderates. I'm Jessica Tarlov, back by popular demand, like really popular. Scott is obsessed with you. I am joined by my friend, journalist and lawyer, Aaron Parnas. Hey, Aaron.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going really well. It's nice to have you back and on our almost 1 month anniversary of the YouTube channel, a little bit shy of a month. And you kind of like pushed me into this. Your Gen Z-ness was like, do it.
Well, it's working. I mean, the channel is exploding. People are excited. I mean, this is good. You're doing
explosion.
great.
Okay. I'm still nervous, as you can tell, but we're doing it and we're really enjoying it. And especially importantly, Scott is enjoying it. Quick reactions, takes on the news. If you are new here, please subscribe and continue to hang out with us, and you'll see more embarrassing plugs like that in the future. I want to get to newsy stuff, but I wanted to ask you, you had a very big week. You interviewed Kamala Harris about her new book, 107 Days. How was it?
It was surreal. It was pretty cool. Packed house, thousands of people in New York City. People were excited. I mean, it was like a range of emotions, like excitement. People were crying. People were laughing. I mean, it was just a great night. It was a really revealing book. I mean, Kamala post campaign is very different from Kamala on the campaign trail, and I think she was a lot more open and more willing to kind of go into some of the nitty gritty of things.
Yeah, I feel like that happens oftentimes with losing campaigns, like Hillary Clinton's Howard Stern interview after she
Yeah.
lost. I was like, if you had been like this, we would be in a different position,
Hindsight's 2020, as they say.
isn't it? And my vision is definitely not. Okay, big news last night was the indictment of Jim Comey, former FBI director and #1 on Trump's list of enemies. Comey took to Instagram himself to respond. Let's watch that.
My family and I have known for years that there are costs to standing up to Donald Trump, but we couldn't imagine ourselves living any other way. We will not live on our knees, and you shouldn't either. Somebody that I love dearly recently said that fear is the tool of a tyrant, and she's right. But I'm not afraid, and I hope you're not either. I hope instead you are engaged, you are paying attention, and you will vote like your beloved country depends upon it, which it does. My heart is broken for the Department of Justice, but I have great confidence in the federal judicial system, and I'm innocent. So let's have a trial.
So I want to talk about the case, but first, the fact that he came right out and did a new age kind of interview for himself. And I found it to be quite powerful.
I did too. I mean, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I wish they added some captions and maybe had a Gen Zer, like make it a little more professional, as they
He
say.
should have called you and said, could you judge my indictment video?
Essentially,
Yeah.
and I would have done it. But no, I mean, I thought that was a pretty powerful moment. But I will say it's very rare when people are charged. And I was an attorney, I was a criminal defense attorney. Every criminal defense attorney tells their client, do not speak, do not say anything publicly, because anything you say publicly can and will be used against you in a court of law. And so it's very rare you have a criminal defendant, even if it's someone like James Comey, make a video like that. But I think that this was necessary and needed in this moment. I think people needed to hear from Comey directly because the administration was trying to spin one narrative and he needed to push back. And I thought he did it pretty well.
Yeah, I guess my hopes of getting a Jim Comey interview for my YouTube channel, and he'll help me do the plug, are rapidly diminishing. But what did you make of the indictment itself? We're hearing from some unlikely folks on the Republican side, like Andy McCarthy, saying that he thinks it should be thrown out, frankly, and went on with Maria Bartiromo and kind of told her straight, like, this is garbage. It's not true. And my guess is that it'll be thrown out. What was your take?
Well, I do want to congratulate Lindsay Halligan because this was her first ever court appearance as a lawyer. She was an insurance lawyer in Florida. She had never been in a courtroom before. So this is the first time she ever was in a courtroom, and she presented this case on her own in front of a grand jury. Interestingly, the grand jury chose not to indict on one of the 3 charges. They say prosecutors can indict a ham sandwich because it's that easy to secure an indictment. Here, they couldn't get all 3 charges. That's one point. Point number 2, Donald Trump completely undermined this case from the minute he posted that message to Pam Bondi urging her to prosecute James Comey, something people aren't talking about. If I'm Comey's attorney, I'm filing a motion to dismiss based on selective prosecution tomorrow. And that is traditionally a very difficult motion to win because you have to prove some type of animus within the Department of Justice or the charging authority against your client. Here, that animus is on full display. You have Donald Trump, the president, urging the attorney general and the Department of Justice to pursue criminal charges, even when there isn't sufficient evidence. And so I'm really curious to see what the next few weeks look like after Comey's first appearance. I wouldn't be surprised if this case is thrown out well before it ever gets to a jury. And I don't think it ever will get to a jury. If it does, I think you'll have a swift acquittal here. But ultimately, I think that this case is one that should have never been brought. And it shows the degradation of the Department of Justice in real time.
Absolutely. And I know that there are some people who take a different tack than you because they actually want to go through the discovery process and they want people like Ted Cruz, who is kind of a linchpin of this for his testimony. He's the one who's saying that Jim Comey lied about what he instructed Andy McCabe to do. And this is actually, I should note, and the wildest part to me is that this doesn't have to do with the Russia collusion investigation at all. This is about a separate matter. So Trump sycophants are fanning out all over TV saying it's about the Russia witch hunt when it's actually completely unrelated. But Ted Cruz and his questioning is central to this testimony. If you look at the side by side of what actually is said, it seems quite clear that Jim Comey is telling the truth. And again, Andy McCarthy was noting that. I saw that Andrew Weissman was suggesting that maybe Comey would want to move forward, but with a speedy trial. So giving them 30 days, which they seem ill-equipped to be able to handle if Lindsay Halligan had to actually do the courtroom proceedings herself, which is what happened. I don't know if she couldn't just get someone else in her office to do it. Do you think everyone is literally saying, we're not working on this?
Yeah, I mean, no one's signed on to it yet. She hasn't found a prosecutor in the office willing to do it. I don't know how you, as a career prosecutor, agree to a case like this where you know that you're going to walk into a courtroom and more likely than not lose. I mean, there's a reason in this country prosecutors, federal prosecutors, win over 95% of the cases they bring because they really only bring cases that they know they're going to win. And when they don't win, it's usually, I mean, it's a fluke or I mean, whatever. There's certain scenarios, but in this case, it's not even 50-50. Like, if I had to guess the odds of Comey being convicted here, it's a 15-20% chance, and that's just because you're in the Eastern District of Virginia, which is a more conservative jury pool than in DC, and funny enough, we're only in Virginia because he testified remotely from his house. If he testified on Capitol Hill, this would be brought by Jeanine Pirro in DC in a 96% Democratic district, so
I could definitely get her on my pod, though. I mean, I still could, but it would be like even cooler if she was actually prosecuting the case.
that would make this channel explode.
I'd have the Midas touch of moderation channel if I had Jeanine Pirro on about the Comey case. We saw, so Donald Trump had Maureen Comey, Jim Comey's daughter, fired from the Southern District of New York. Her husband just resigned from the Eastern District office. I was curious, like, do you think that that's the right move for people to be resigning? Because there is a part of me that thinks that we need good people to stay in these positions and to fight internally, to be pushing back and to be on the record, because there are, memos and lots of evidence that shows that people within the office told Lindsay Halligan and Eric Siebert
Yeah.
or Eric Siebert before, and now Lindsay Halligan, like, this is not a case that you're going to win or that we should be bringing forward. So are you a you should stay or you should go person?
I mean, I think when you're talking about lawyers and the Justice Department, it's very different than any other agency, in my opinion, because when you're sworn into the bar, you swear an oath, right? That you're going to uphold the responsibilities, the ethics of being a lawyer, right? You have certain ethics you have to abide by. And if your superior is telling you to prosecute a case that you fundamentally believe is akin to like malicious prosecution, that's sanctionable. So if I'm sitting there in the Justice Department, I have to resign. That is my duty to say no. And if she pushes you out and I leave because of it, I mean, you're upholding your duty as a lawyer. So I think this is a very unique case. I mean, I think the son-in-law of James Comey resigning, that makes all the sense in the world. But he's the only one, I believe, thus far that's resigned. And I
Yeah.
do personally hope that this is a case of first impression in the sense that Lindsay Halligan tries it. This is her baby. She wins, she loses, whatever it is. That's her situation. And then the other prosecutors in the office, they continue to do their good work because the Eastern District of Virginia, I mean, this is where most of the terrorism cases are prosecuted in the country. This is one of the most influential prosecutors' offices in the entire country, and there are a lot of good attorneys. So I personally hope they don't have to leave, but they may.
All right. Well, time will tell, and we'll keep watching this story. Thank you so much for joining me.
Of course, thanks for having me.